stars here. So tell me, read the review. Tell us a little bit about this person.
Okay. My experience with utility concierge was nothing short of amazing. In the midst of buying my first home and all the chaos and stress that comes with, my first call and conversation with Maria was the first that was not only comforting but reassuring that I had someone to turn to for assistance with getting settled in. I immediately felt like I was talking to a friend who was offering a lending hand and whose whole sole intention was making this process as smooth as it can be. I really appreciate the service and Maria, who was a sweet breath of fresh air. Thank you.
Now you sandbag that thank you because I'm reading it. It looks like it's all caps with two exclamation points.
Yeah, she was very excited. And I appreciate the review. I honestly didn't tell her to send it. So the ones that you don't tell your customers to send and they send either way are the ones that you appreciate a little bit more,
Yeah,
you know?
those are the true
So
fans, right?
definitely.
I like it. I like it.
Um, but it was her first time buying a home. She was moving in from an apartment. So the only utility she had ever had under her name was electricity.
Oh wow.
So she was moving in by herself, and there was a lot of concerns when it came um, to moving in by yourself, because when you move in by yourself, you don't have a lending hand to help you.
Right.
Um,
Let's split up the tasks. You do this, I
exactly.
do this, right?
Exactly. So it was just a one person show when it came to her home buying process. And um, we connected right away over our conversations. And she actually called me back. She needed to, look into the services that I had requested. She also wanted to make sure that we were legit.
Understood, right?
So the fact that she felt really good about our conversation from the get-go, even though it didn't feel that way for me, is always like a good sign that, my customer service is in the right direction. A lot of the times we can tend to lose interest in a lead if they don't close right away after you pitch them. So like follow up and follow through is really important when it comes to setting up services that take more than one phone call.
Yeah.
Because ideally we can all just pitch and close off the first call, but we know that realistically that isn't always the case.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So this was a situation where it wasn't necessarily like our one call close.
Hmm.
But it sounds like you guys built rapport straight
We
away on the
did.
first call.
We did. And one of the things that we connected on was the fact that, I'm living at home by myself with my kids. She was going to be moving in by herself as well. So security was a big concern for her. And whenever we started our conversation, that's kind of how she led. But we went ahead and we started with basic utilities. We moved over to internet, we moved over to TV, and then we set up the home alarm. She had a closing date that also changed, so we moved it from one day to the other after that. And I stayed with her through the entire closing process. One of the things that I feel like this lead kind of saved me a little bit this month, to be honest with you, because I ended up having a bad review last month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was like a complete opposite of a review. It was my first bad review. And I could have, before I even saw that this lead sent me this positive review, I could have just really focused on the negative review instead of taking accountability for my negative review. But I took full responsibility because in reality, like our one of the concerns that she was having with me is that I wasn't communicating with her fast enough. Um, and it kind of brought me up to speed in the reality that, callbacks are the most important thing that you need to do as soon as it happens, whether you have a full a pipeline full of people and you know that this person may be calling just for like basic utility information and things like that. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Once you have reached in touch base with a customer, that customer becomes the most important person that you have talked to that day. And regardless if they're asking you the same question over and over again, regardless if they don't want if they want to do everything themselves, once you have contact with that person becomes the most important person because that person has the ability to make or break your day, not only financially, but also with reviews. And a
Wow.
company is only as good as its reviews. Because whenever you look at a restaurant, the first thing that you look at is their reviews.
That's right.
You're
Yeah.
not gonna go to a restaurant with the most amazing menus if the reviews are like at a 1 star.
Yeah, exactly. Man, that's so
So
important to think about too. And I
it
like how you
is.
put that. Do you mind restating that again?
that a company is only as important as its reviews.
Yeah, or just the what you said about the customer, right? Like once you make contact.
100%. Once you make contact with that customer becomes the most important person for you because that person will make or break your day, whether it's sales wise or reviews wise. And both of them are equally as important once you touch base with that customer.
I love it. Absolutely.
And it was just like, I took the bad review as hard because it was my first bad review. But I also think that it came at such a critical time because you can focus so much on your script. You can focus so much on your KPIs, on your how many sales you close for that particular day, your talk time, your dial. But it's the customer service that's going to get you paid. That's the only thing that's going to get you paid. We sell services.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
like if you're not going to give them the best customer service, then you're not going to be closing any deals.
Oh, I love that mindset. And that's one
Hmm.
of our core values. And that's what we're highlighting today is mind-blowing customer service, right? That mind-blowing customer service experience.
And after the bad review, I started looking into like ways to give better customer service. I started looking into tutorials online and like, you know, podcasts and things like that. And I came across a quote that said that every single person that you talk to, especially if it's like a phone cell, that you have to make that person believe that this is the most important person of your day. So
Nice.
if whenever you're calling that person, you have to do it with like a serving heart where you literally try to connect with that person over the warmth of your voice, the excitement, they could sense the smile when you dial kind of thing. I know it sounds super corny, but they can.
It's true.
Um, so I just kind of try to focus on that ever since I got my bad review. I try to make sure that I reach back immediately after I get a response from them. I try to make sure that um, I treat every single person the way I would like to be treated and then some.
That's
Um,
awesome. The golden
it-
rule, right? I mean, that's the
exactly.
at the basic level, that's how our interactions should be with each other.
Do everything with the best of intention. Sell them the actual right product. Give them the right information. Don't give them like, CenturyLink at 100 megs for 65 when MediaCom is available or anything like that.
I know everybody probably watching this can resonate with that because I know that that's been a temptation, right? For sure.
100%. It's hard to stay honest sometimes, and it's hard to stay positive. You can have 20 calls and every single one would be a no, or no one picks up, and then when somebody does, and then it's that upstream battle of winning them over and staying positive and doing it with the best of intentions. That's what's going to get you the sell. That's what's going to give you the good review. That's what's going to give you a referral, you
Right.
know
Right. You're
trickling
talking big
effect.
picture items here,
Yeah,
Maria. So you're saying
exactly.
don't look at the small stuff, right?
Yeah,
Cutting corners
exactly.
doesn't help you long term type of thing.
Exactly. And even if they tell you that they can do it themselves, like I have had so many customers that tell me that, and I still send them the basic utility email. And I'm like, just so you know, I'm going to send you the link straight to the providers and I'll be on standby in case you need anything else. Because you may tell them that they may tell you that they don't want your service, but you still give them a little taste of it. So you let them know that you're available. You
Right.
would be surprised how many people still reach back out.
Oh, I love that. Because they
Hmm.
probably don't know, it's like Kevin said in the kickoff the other day, right? We might not be speaking the same language. When
Exactly.
you say the service, they might be thinking something completely different from what it is. And so when you probably send that template, that email, and
Hmm.
everything's laid out and it has, beautiful marketing material on it and everything like that, thank you, marketing
Exactly.
department. They're probably wowed by that, right? Like,
Yeah.
wow, yeah, I did this by myself before, but it was just a little paper that I folded up and put in my pocket from the realtor. It wasn't this nice
Yeah.
email that looks really nice and sexy and everything like that, right?
And then it takes you straight to the link already. You don't
Yeah.
even have to look anything up. So it's always good to send that over to the people that kind of make you feel like they can do this themselves.
Yeah. I like
Because
that.
in reality, I think that every single person that I have closed and helped, I have closed and helped because I have found a better deal.
Nice.
So if they knew what they were talking about, I wouldn't be closing them.
Right. Right.
So that's also like a really good selling point to let them know. and be like, we do this for a living, ma'am, you know.
That's what I try to, yeah. I always
There's
think
a
about that.
reason, yeah.
Yeah, we did. This is my, yeah, I'm not volunteering. This isn't, I'm just doing a couple of hours today, you know. I always like to say hey, I'm moving more people this week than you're going to move in a lifetime. So just use my expertise, use me.
Yeah,
I'm your assistant,
yeah.
but I want to bring this knowledge base to you.
Absolutely. And I also let them know that, from Utility Concierge, we are a courtesy service provided by Goosehead Insurance. And I just would like for you to consider me as your assistant to help you with this process. And
Right.
if you let them know that it's free, if you let them know that you're going to be fully available to them, if you let them know that you're there to move services around in case closing dates were to close, like if you sell all the customer service key points versus internet versus cable versus alarm, they're going to go with you for the services because those are the ones they want to get anyways.
That's so important. We were just discussing that this morning, is that the connection with the customer is the most
Mhm.
important, vital thing, and everything else falls in place.
Absolutely.
The
And I
internet, the securities, whatever.
and I think that that's why I do so well with my Spanish leads because with the Spanish leads, it's very hard for Latin people to where there's a language barrier for them to not only understand the deals, but they also feel very like wary about trusting someone that
You've
they
told me
have,
this before. Yeah,
yeah,
I remember
that
this.
they
Yeah.
have no like real way of like confirming or so that first introduction is so important to be able to sell the key points of our service.
They've got to be probably the most defensive customer, not in a bad way, but they've just got to have
No,
their defensive
100%.
shields up, right?
They do. And then not only that, but then sometimes half of them don't have like social. So like you have to be very picky about how you pitch and you ask for certain things. And um it's not an easy sell to have. That's why double rev is it's awarded
I get it. I get it.
for the sales. But I always feel super happy when I close a full set in Spanish. I really do. And I tend to close like a solid, like I would say between like 6 to 8 security sets, Spanish security sets a month.
Nice.
Not a month, I'm sorry, about a week.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say a month.
I was trying to sound very impressed. No, no.
No, no. Oh, in a month?
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
that's fun.
How are you still here at
And-
UC? The rookie numbers. No, but I always feel like closing a Spanish set is a big accomplishment just based on that. Just because it's hard to be able to win them over. And in a way, it's made me a little bit better for my English sets because there's less, opposition.
Right.
They're a little bit more aware. They're more familiarized with company names and things like that.
Sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Brands.
you kind of like cut your
Yeah.
teeth on the hardest, customers, not
Yeah.
because they're tough themselves, but like you said, they're
It's a
defensive.
process. Yeah.
They don't know what to trust or who to trust. I'm sure. I bet, those are the folks that probably are more susceptible to like scams and things like that as well because of the language
Exactly.
barrier. Yeah.
Hmm.
Makes sense. I love
Definitely.
I love the story. So it sounds like you had, a bad review. You had to humble yourself and realize that, you didn't know everything there was about customer service. You took some time to improve and better yourself. And this is a product of it, right? Erica is a product of that work that you did.
100. And she's also like my little bit of a saving grace because she kind of like reminded me that I am capable of the good customer service, that I'm not just like the bad review.
Right.
So like on the days that you feel like you just because you had a one bad call in the morning, that doesn't mean that your last call is not going to make your day.
Right.
Or, so you just have to take the good with the bad. I learned with my bad review how to be a better customer service rep. And my friend here, Erica, just kind of like gave me like a little bit of oomph of self-confidence when it came to taking that hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. That reinforced
Yeah,
it all for you, I'm sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
She made me feel better about my month. And I really like the fact that I started this month with this review. And it just kind of makes me feel like every single person I'm calling, I want the same review out of that person.
Right.
I want them to feel like how Erica feels.